Good soldiers follow orders.
Welcome everyone for another episode of the Baddest Batch podcast with the Baddest Batch boys. For the first time today, we're doing this podcast all in the same room.
Right? Wow. It's like we never see each other.
Yeah. Feels nice actually to be all in the same room. It's a bit of a different setup. Obviously we just we're all here because we just cracked a bunch of cards. We'll talk about that a bit later. And so we thought, why not just
not our showcase. His showcase, not our showcase.
It's kind of communal.
It's in the family.
It's in the family.
All our showcases are in the family.
How are you, gents?
It's great seeing you in 3D.
It's great that I'm going to be really torn about we look at each other to talk.
That also includes the smell.
Yeah.
Stop.
It's sweaty work cracking boxes.
It is tough.
What, case and 3 carbonite boxes cracked today?
Yes.
Yeah. There's a lot of cards. You can't see them now. They're outside the screen, but there's a lot of cards to sort. That will be a little problem for us.
That's a Tivi and Tebow problem tomorrow while I'm at work.
We'll see. Now, in terms of what we're going to talk about today, obviously it's pre-release weekend. I don't know when you'll be listening to this, but as of right now, it's pre-release weekend. So we've done a couple of those. We're going to talk about our experiences at the PR event so far. And we'll talk a little bit about the resale market of the new Star Wars and the current and potentially the old Star Wars Unlimited cards and kind of how people price and how they should be pricing, in our opinion. We'll take a little bit of a global approach as well as a little bit of an Australian market lens as well. So it's going to be a good time. TV was first, right? Friday night, because I did my first.
Yes.
I did my first Saturday. So you were first Friday night. How'd you go?
Friday night at Hall of Heroes in Campbelltown. I went well. I went 4-0 using Snoke Red. So at Hall of Heroes, it was only 3 rounds, but Scott,
definitely
you were not there. Scott and I were 3-0,
driving more than 20 minutes.
We played it out afterwards,
Yeah.
and Snoke Red just dominated. It was a good time, but it was good to crack packs. Good to see some of the guys out west and play some games. It was a lot of fun. I think Hall of Heroes actually does my favorite pre-release format where they give you a pack after round 1 and you get to add in the card to see what you can do. If you're not doing that at your pre-release,
you're doing it wrong.
You're doing pre-release wrong. It is so much. It always feels bad when you're doing a pre-release and you get shit and you can't build a good deck.
I can talk about this a little bit because that was really what my pre-release experience was.
I think I think some of the other places are doing it now. Some places don't, and it becomes a bit of a difficult conversation. And it shouldn't. It's if you're already getting it as price support, just give it out.
It's interesting because sometimes it's driven by the store. So the store is going to say, okay, we give packs or we don't. And I've had experiences where players are like, that's not the rule. You can't add it. You can't add it now. And so sometimes the stores feel a bit bad when you have a player that's a bit of a rules tricklor.
Yeah.
And so sometimes even if the store wants to, they're like, oh, okay, that's fine. We'll just give them out at the end. Or we can give them now, but don't add them. I think I agree with you. The best way to go about it is give the pack after each round, buff your deck with it.
Yeah.
I think that's the best.
You're getting it anyway. And we're not playing for sheep stations or pink slips in a pre-release. You're just playing to play with the new cards, see what they do, and have a fun time.
Yeah,
I think it's good.
So 4-0 with Snoke Red.
Yeah.
Right. Then it was me. Went to Hobby Shack yesterday. Drove up the coast. Killed 2 birds with 1 stone. So my dad came down from Newcastle, and I was like, I'll go to Hobby Shack. I hadn't been yet, and I had a really good time. It was my first time in the shop. It's good because I play Newcastle probably about once a set. Go take the showdown down there. And seeing some of the people that I see there from the Central Coast and from that area is always good. Some guys drove up from Sydney, James, Julian, Tim. So it was good to see everybody and finally see Mitch's shop. And I had a really good time. I played Kit Fisto Green. My spread of cards was really difficult. I had Snoke as a villain leader. I had 1,000. I really wanted to play that, but I had no villainy cards, basically any. Yeah. And so I set on Kit Fisto Green. And like you said, just my cards, I couldn't see anything that I liked. I won my first 2 games. And then my second buff pack.
Are you laughing at Kit Fisto? Because I am, internally.
I'm laughing at Tebow just constantly saying...
Fucking every time?
My unplayable. Deck is unplayable. Next minute, 4-0.
What'd you go?
4-0. But there,
That's a good point. I wasn't thinking of that.
no, there is an asterisk next to this 4-0 because it's a 2-0 with Kid Fisto and a 2-0 with Obi.
It's not an asterisk. You
It
went
is.
4-0
Yeah.
after
You
complete.
played within the rules of the game and you still went 4-0.
Yeah, you did.
That's right.
It's
Unplayable.
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 My deck, no, I've
Garbage.
got the chat.
Absolutely
My deck is
not.
unplayable.
I'm not ashamed of saying it. My deck was not. It wasn't good.
It wasn't good, but I went 4-0.
Honestly, I played against Mitch first. He should have beat me. I beat Mitch.
I think that says more about
Mitch.
Mitch than it does
Your
about
deck
you.
was good. Your deck was good.
No,
and
it
so-
is a trend, though. You have to admit the trend.
It
If
is-
you
For,
would've
for
dropped-
context, we've got the shits with Mitch at the moment, so
we don't, yeah.
we don't talk about Mitch.
We don't talk about it.
So yeah, the ability to like all I did, I pulled an OB in my second pack. I just went OB red. I just swapped my Kid Fisto and it felt much better. Obviously, much better leader. And so the ability to be able to tweak your deck a little bit like this was really welcome.
I think it's fun, right? Like, pre-releases are just supposed to be fun. You're not
Yes.
supposed to, we're
Yeah.
not playing in worlds. Like, you just cracking 6 packs, trying to make what you can get. And most stores do give like an extra 2 packs. So do one in round 1, do one at the end of round 2, round 3 you go in good. But it is, I've always found with Sealed that you sometimes have those really feel bad moments where it's like, I got all good heroic leaders, but I got no good heroic cards.
Yeah.
Or vice versa. And it just, you can't make something that you feel is going to be playable.
It's weird the difference between draft and sealed because I think sometimes I feel like I like sealed better because you're not you can't get
No one else interacts.
no one else
Really?
interacts with you and you just kind of get what you're given.
Yeah.
That's why
But
you
it-
play single player video games.
Yeah, exactly.
You doesn't play Fortnite with us.
But also, with draft, you can craft your deck a little bit better and
that's
but you've also got the opportunity to get shafted by.
Could hate draft you.
Yes,
It's happened.
Fuck off! I do not hate
I
draft.
can probably name
Happened.
3
Oh, for sure,
times
it's happened.
where
I can
you've
name it.
hate
It's happened.
drafted.
It's happened. He said he's looking. I can't let him have this.
Exactly.
I can't let him have this. Can't let him have a 5. He's playing Kaz. Can't let
I
5
can't,
go through.
yeah, exactly. I think that was one of the times.
Oh,
no, it wasn't fireball. It was a fireball. I'm not drafting against you with fucking fireballs on your own cats.
But that's why I like draft because then I can kind of shape my own luck a little bit. Like with Seal, that's the cards that I'm dealt with.
You are stuck with it.
Draft, you can pivot a little bit. Say, I need a bit of this. Let me see what I can get.
Yeah.
In my Sealed, if I don't have any early turns, I'm like, well,
I think if you're playing a sealed tournament, that should be the format. Is if you've got prize support, even if it's 1 or
Just
2 packs, you
chuck
just
it in
chuck
there.
your packs in, amalgamate it into your deck or something.
Yeah.
It's fun.
then you had one on Saturday night.
Yes, on Saturday I went to Mega Games out in Penrith and did a pre-release there. It was a best of 3. I do not like sealed best of 3.
Ugh.
In sealed, even in draft, in limited formats,
Don't do that.
No.
it should be just best of 1 because you're most of the time, if you lose your first game, you're losing your second game.
Yeah.
Most of the time.
Yeah.
I went 2-1 in my second round at Cup with Carl.
Yeah.
He beat me in the first round. I beat him in the next 2. But like just playing I didn't play the third round. I was
No, it's
it
too
was an
much.
hour and a
No.
half
It
drive.
was
home.
5
Yeah.
games in already. No.
Like it was too much.
it's
But it was still good. Like it's still good cracking packs. I got a Hyperfoil HK47, which is awesome.
Yeah.
And a Yoda. So.
you want to be playing different players and you want to see what every player's got. Like it's I played best of 1 yesterday and that was really really what I like.
And we are going to one right after we record this.
Yeah.
Which will be the first one we do.
Us
All
together.
3 of us.
My first one.
And James will be here.
James
as
is
well.
joining us.
James
Yep.
Scott.
Scott has bailed out. Hates us. Could just say you hate us, Scott. It's fine.
In terms of one thing that I would say about the pre-release that I didn't like, and that's not the store's fault or anything, where are the initiative tokens,
Force
tokens?
tokens? Yeah, whatever they are.
Yes, the force tokens. Why are they? They're not these ones.
Not these ones.
Power Ranger.
That's
We had to print, we had to
All
print
the
those.
time. That's a deep cut. Holy shit.
We had to print those, and we'll probably
We're going to get some out at top right tonight.
we spoken
Good
to
people.
LaserGaming as well, one of our sponsors, to get some as well.
Yes.
But like, where are they? Like, you're shipping out the boxes. Where are the tokens? Like, you have months to play. I don't know whose fault it is.
There is
Like,
a...
G or VR or whatever, but
There's also been I mean,
No, apparently some American stores have
apparently
it.
that's
Oh,
one
so
thing. I think it might be an FFG.
but I think the issue it feels like is, and look, we're not store owners, but we have good relationships with
Yes.
a lot of store owners, and we do know, like we do know there hasn't been much communication around that.
Yeah.
And I think that's a problem.
That is the one biggest issue.
It's a big problem in stuff like this, especially like it's a fine line between like, oh, we're consumers, we want to know where this stuff is, but we're also like we're event coordinators. We make events, and like communication is so key to be able to do stuff well. And I feel like it's very much lacking in this space at the moment.
Well, there's also like as an extension of this no force token problem or the token keeps that you get, the Qui-Gon and the Maul, I think.
As well, yes.
Apparently, people who went to sectors and regionals still haven't gotten their medal initiative tokens or their top 8 mats or anything like that either.
That feels bad.
That feels bad. Right?
Because the more it drags on, the less you feel like, the more you feel like I'm never getting this.
Yeah.
Like, and
well, the feel bad from that as well is the people who took Luke or Vader to top 64. They still haven't gotten their showcases. I think
that's not.
I think the expectation is that if you go to World, we get at World.
They should be there,
but they should have been printed and they should have been there at the time.
Yeah,
so
they should be there and ready to go. You should be walking out the door that day with it.
And that historically that has always been an issue with FFG is getting stuff done in a timely manner. You know, there was this old joke with Destiny, and I don't know, you've probably played FFG games longer than I have, but there was always the excuse it's on the boat, because they used to ship everything by sea, and everything was always delayed because it was being shipped by boat.
Yeah,
they need to get their own boats. They need to get their own boats.
Look, and we don't include logistics business. It always baffles me that they have things manufactured in China, send it to America, and then they ship it to us.
It's crazy.
It boggles the mind.
It's crazy.
Surely there is a cost-saving mechanism to just go, all right, we need to send it to Australia. We're just going to ship it
it would be way more cost-effective for them.
Surely.
I think they print...
This is common sense. Are we opening logistics?
No.
Like, are we going to solve this issue? Three middle-aged men on a podcast. Look, we're going to fix the world.
I look at it, can't be that hard. I don't know why it's that hard, but
that's what she says.
It is those feel bad moments though, and it to me the difference is if you're a store owner and you got this community of people, like I feel there are a lot less new people coming to pre-releases and weeklies and stuff. It's old souls. It's us. It's the regulars. So we have a certain level of expectations. This is not set 1. This is set 5.
Yeah.
We have an expectation. You don't owe us anything, but we've come with the expectation. The least you could do is email out, hey, this has happened. We acknowledge it. We're sorry.
That I agree with.
Just tell us.
I kind of disagree with
that.
They don't owe us something. I think they feel like we do because we spend our hard-earned money with them.
We spend a shitload of money.
We expect the bare minimum of
transparency.
OP stuff to come through. It's like halfway through set 4, everyone was out of OP packs.
Oh, that
FFG.
That frustrated me.
VR, if you're listening and you have some in the back room,
send them to.
You have our address. You have our address.
Send them
when we're going and people are handing out set 3 OP packs, which we had millions of.
I have spares.
I've got spares I haven't even opened because I'm like set 3, don't need it.
Same.
It's very feels bad, but it also feels inconsistent because I was actually chatting with one of the stores and they got 4 Legends of the Force boxes of OP stuff for this set. I'm not going to name them, but so I know that other stores got barely half of that at the start of set last time, but it just feels inconsistent.
Yeah,
and like again,
they're overcorrecting.
And if they are overcorrecting, that's awesome. But that hasn't been there are others that haven't got that much of Legends of the Force. So I feel like they need. Again, you're right. It's we do spend heaps of money. We do have an expectation. You don't owe us to meet the expectation. You owe us to talk to us. A bare minimum is communicated to us.
Before we move on, it's interesting what you said that it's mostly the old souls that go to pre-release. How much communication have you seen about pre-release from stores?
No,
not much.
Not a lot.
Like I had to work hard to find out what is happening when at what time. Like, obviously, it's not on the private channel, on the private chat stuff like that. We communicate relatively well, but if I'm a new player, I'm not hearing about this, and that should be the.
And shout out to SWU Oz Discord channel because they do try and gather it all into one place. The thing that frustrates me, and me and Scott have talked about this a lot, there is that Star Wars Unlimited official website where you're supposed to, as a store,
put your events up,
We're gonna be
because if
started.
you're a new player, that's the thing.
It
New
should be a
players-
condition of OP.
If you
to
want
have
OP
that.
packs, if you
Yeah.
want weeklies, you should be putting your shit up on that goddamn
Yes.
website so that a new person who doesn't know about SWUs, who doesn't know about the baddest batch, who we yell
That'd
at
be
people
crazy,
to go to.
That'd be crazy.
But we yell at everyone. Like, we're telling people, go to these events, go to these
Yeah.
events. You know, we're running the New South Wales, Central Coast and Canberra Facebook.
Yeah.
I forget the name of it. But like, Scott's doing the Lord's work and finding them, putting them in the pin post that people know. But not everyone does that. If I'm a new player, I'm probably not going to do that. I'm going to go to StarWarsUnlimited.com and I'm going to
Where
try
can
and
I
see
play?
where
Yeah.
can I play this game.
Yeah.
And there's nowhere. No stores are putting their stuff up there.
Yeah.
Let's topic for another day.
Yes.
As our second topic of the day, though, we're going to talk TCG single prices a little bit, like Star Wars
market.
Unlimited prices.
The market in Australia.
And over the world a little bit.
Over
at
the
moment.
world, but
Yeah.
But we know this market a little bit better, but the market around the world at the moment is a bit of a weird spot. So obviously it's pre-release week. So for the last 3-4 days, probably a little bit more, because some retailers have had their stock for about a week now, and they've started to crack to sell singles. And so we've seen a lot of cards on the market for a while. If you look on eBay, like for a week now, there's been showcases up for sale. And if you haven't seen, the prices have been astronomical. And we're talking...
Astronomical is a word. They've been a joke.
They've been a joke. They're having a laugh.
Let's be
you're taking the piss.
absolutely taking the piss. And we're not going to name shame people and stores and things. I think I mean, we would normally do that.
No.
But
Just 'cause we
it
don't-
seems to be like an actual problem with the market. Not like an individual
look,
or a group's
yes.
fault.
Yes.
It's
No, yeah, you're right. It's not
endemic in
It's
this.
just people's first reaction is everyone knows of TCG Player. You go to TCG Player, and
The website
specifically
we're
in
talking about.
in Australia, you
TCG
go
Converted.
TCG Converted.
Yeah.
What people forget is that those prices are inflated.
Yes.
Yep.
And so they go to TCG Player, they go, okay, this showcases $200 on TCG Player. We convert it to Australian dollars, which is like $270, $280.
More than that.
It's
now.
more than that now.
Yeah,
300 is, let's just say 300.
Yeah. But yeah.
And then it's like, okay, it's 300. Guys, it's not worth $300. What you've got to remember is that all these places have markups on them with fees.
Yep.
And you would roughly go
About
15% would be fees.
Yeah.
So this is why, and the Australian market as well is, if we just go back to start of Jump to Lightspeed and look at all the showcases, the prestiges coming out and that sort of stuff, and now you can buy prestiges for cents on the dollar because people were following the TCG Player price at the beginning, couldn't shift it,
Yep.
and now they're left holding the baby.
Yeah.
And they have to sell it for cents on the dollar.
So
Our discussion that we were having is, if you want to sell at TCG Player price, go put your card on TCG Player or on eBay. TCG Player and eBay prices are the same. They pull from the same.
Yeah, eBay owns TCG.
Yeah, and they pull from the same database. If you want to sell at that price, by all means, go put your card up on one of these platforms, put it at this price. It may move at that price, and you're going to give 15% to the platform. If you want to sell private to private, you're selling a card to me, don't ask me to pay TCG Player price and you get a sweet 15% on the card. No, you want to sell to me. You don't want to have to go through the process of uploading your card, taking photos, dealing with sellers, blah, blah, blah. And you take an extra 15%. No, like you can understand that that's ridiculous. You want to sell person to person, take that cut off, and then maybe we can have a deal. But it's not fair, in my opinion, when people say, "Oh yeah, I'm looking for TCG converted." It's too expensive.
And I know people are going to say, like, well, all the other card games do it. All the other card games are very established and have very big communities and markets for these sorts of things. So maybe it does make sense that they sit there. Star Wars isn't there. Like like, I don't think we've got more than 500 active players
That's right.
in Australia. So to think that like that is the market value of certain cards, I just don't think it's there. So
It's supply and demand.
you're yeah, 100%, and people will pay it. Like, especially at the start of the set, we're going to make fun of Clint through this thing about how you bought the
Sabine
Sabine's
Masterpiece.
Masterpiece hyperspaces. It's the FOMO effect, right?
I hate you both.
I think people are much better about this set. So
Well, yeah, but no, but like, okay, so I was just looking up the foil prestige Devastator from JTL.
Yeah.
I sold my one that I cracked in my first
100?
box for $120.
I think I sold both mine for like $80 each.
It's now $20 US on TCG.
So like
So
40
that's
bucks.
35, yeah.
30, 45,
35,
30, 40 bucks. Like, obviously at the starter set, everything is more because of
Sure.
the FOMO,
The
and
FOMO
all those
factor.
things. But like the prices are still ridiculous. I checked the foil Darth Vader Prestige, and it was $250 US on TCG.
That's crazy.
That is mental. That is more than showcases. No one's
Yeah.
paying that. And I'll be the first to say it's my favorite card of the set. I think it's fucking awesome.
And we're
It's
actually,
not worth
we're
it.
actually in a better position here at the moment as well, because there's over in America, there's going to be a lot of scrambling for good cards like Vaders and Yodas
Yeah.
and all that sort of stuff, because Galactic Championships in less than 3 weeks. So there's
Absolutely.
going to be a lot of scrambling for good cards. There's not going to be that as much here, but you know, I've been watching the buy sell trade page in Australia, the buy sell trade on the Australia Discord, and I'm sorry guys, like the prices that you're asking.
I have some
ridiculous.
I have some examples, right? I'm not gonna name
Like-
any name, but I'm
And it's apparent.
The GI. Are you going to talk the GI?
I was going to say it's just apparent because none of these things have sold.
we
Yes, that is the thing.
That's
right?
the proof is in the pudding there, because your cards aren't moving. Your cards are staying there unsold. No one's commenting.
Yeah.
Like, you've got to be realistic. If you're in this to make a profit, you're in the wrong game.
You're in absolute.
and I think
that sums it up really well. You are in the wrong game.
week one is the best week to make money, but I think people went overboard this time, and it looks ridiculous. Like I'm on the Star Wars Unlimited trade and sell Australian group.
Yeah, Aussie one.
And like,
yeah.
we're not doing this to shame anyone.
No,
it's not
absolutely
about.
not.
It's about offering a different perspective, or asking people to be realistic about what they're, or resetting their
It's a
expectations.
conversation we should be having. Like everyone should be having.
When we say we're not here to shame, it's we're not gonna name, but shame. Like to be honest, no. When I'm saying, hey, you're asking for a grant for a card, come on, like I'm shaming you. Like, I'm sorry, Kylo Ren showcase.
The Frenchman, everybody.
400,
He's right.
400 for a Kylo Ren showcase is too much.
It's absurd.
You wait 3 weeks, it's gonna be 200, 250. Okay. I know the serialized cards are rare. Asking for $1,000 for a Qui-Gon Jinn serialized showcase, you're taking a piss.
Yeah.
It's like, I know you're like, oh, I'm gonna put this. If it doesn't move, it doesn't move. Oh well. It makes you, first of all, it makes you look ridiculous. And that's the issue that we have when people saying, oh well, the prices are tanking. Because then in a week it's gonna be 900. And then you're going to decrease your post again, you're going to put 800. And then that makes it look bad on the game, because it makes it look like the value of the prices or the cards are decreasing, but it's not. Like, you're just starting at a point that nobody's going to buy. If you look at the serialized last set, some people that we know were trying to sell some pretty iconic cards like Falcons and things like that.
Yeah.
$500-600.
Still couldn't move them.
It's not
Still
going to
not
move.
selling.
You're not buying a number 67 Falcon for $600.
I'll buy 69 Falcon.
That maybe. Again, number 1, number 69, number 250, maybe.
It's but at the end of
If
the
you
day,
got 69 Sabine's masterpiece, let me know.
I'm not calling into question like the whole foundation of like trading card games and stuff, but at the end of the day, a piece of cardboard is worth what we're willing to pay for
Yes.
it. And the thing is, most people are not willing to pay $1,000 for any one.
How about $800 for Zucker serialized?
No.
Never, no. You're not going to find a buyer.
And the thing is, especially, and we will name and shame Australians, we don't have the level of Star Wars collectors in this community that they might, because of just sheer population in Europe and America. There's not enough of people playing this game in Australia to go, I need to, collecting this game in Australia, that I need to have those. We can name what? Maybe a handful of people who we would consider hardcore collectors.
So I'll tell you, I don't think the hardcore collectors is should be the target of these people. It's you and I. I'll take Clint out of this. He collects a little bit less than you and I.
Yeah.
The collectors, like Michael, they are collectors. They would buy cards at a relatively high price, high level cards to collect.
Yep.
Maybe there's 10, maybe 20 of them in Australia. I don't even think that many. Maybe 15, maybe 10, 15. What you should be pricing for is TV, myself, who right now I'm on the market for a layer, for example. Everybody's like, oh, TCG converted, it's a $400 card. I'm not feeling like spending 400. You would have told me 75% TCG converted, 300. You would have $300 in your pocket right now.
Yeah.
That's because that's the price that we spend on Showcase. Between 100 and 300, we're pretty comfortable with that.
Yeah.
Above that, I think you're taking the piss. Like,
Yeah,
especially for modern showcases.
I want Kylo desperately. He's going to be my deck to play.
you're gonna wait?
I will wait. I would
You
rather,
get it for 150.
I would yeah. I would rather wait to the end of set than pay $400 for a showcase that I know I will use probably into rotation.
And I think people
But I'm
like
not
you
gonna
and
pay
I is what the market is in Australia. It's this type of collectors.
Yeah.
I'm not in a rush. I'll buy a few. Like James is kind of in the same boat, right?
Yeah.
He buys a lot of showcase. He sees a good price, he's going to
Yeah.
pull the trigger.
It will.
I don't think a showcase should be over $250 personally.
No.
Like, I think
Especially not.
no. I have paid over $250 for a showcase before,
Same.
but
Wasn't that for Sydney's masterpiece?
I can't even say anything about it.
You can't.
It wasn't.
Anyway.
It wasn't. But it's
It wasn't,
That's
but it might as well have been. Not for the value, just because of the outlandish nature.
I know it was crazy.
You did not
Anyway,
pay anywhere near that much money. But
Anyway.
You've learned.
you have.
so
Have you?
I think we. I've learned.
Okay,
I've
good.
learned.
I just wanted to make
So we've established how we feel about the card market at the moment. What do we think is an acceptable?
Yeah.
So if we're going to use TCG Player as the base for like a rough indication of what the card market is at a sort of seller level,
Yeah.
you know, a store or a third party
Yes.
that's reselling it, so you've got fees. What do we think should be an acceptable rate that we
So-
should be, or formula that we should be
I know you
telling them?
said. I think you said 75%.
So it's interesting, right? I saw a post this morning. Somebody who said, hey, I'm selling the following cards, 75% TCG. So you take the price of TCG, 75% of that's the price that he wants.
So it's $100, take it down to $75.
I saw this
Convert
is
it
the
to
first
Australian,
post, first
like-
post this week where I saw sold.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
He had sold half his cards, but and the post had been up for like 30 minutes or an hour, and I looked and I sent it to the boys and I said, that's because that's for the price. You look at this and people
It's
are
a
like,
reasonable price.
It is
people are
a
like,
reasonable price.
I can do that.
Can I ask, was that converted or unconverted?
It wasn't converted, it was US.
It was
Okay.
US.
Yeah. See,
Oh, so there was someone in the US.
yeah,
who's
yeah,
selling.
it's the international thing.
I think we might have talked about this earlier in the week about like if you're in Australia,
Yes, we spoke about that as well.
is take the TCG price and just don't convert it from US dollars.
It's also an option. Like we spoke about that as well as an option as if we don't convert, so a card that's
Yeah.
Because that usually adds like if like say $100 converted $100 American is what 160 170.
yeah,
Like I put out a bounty for an Obi-Wan showcase, right?
Yeah.
And its pre-sale listing on TCG Play was $250 US. I said I'll pay $250 Australian. Like that's
still-
it.
It's still $250.
If you
1.5.
if you want to sell it, if you want a quick sale to move it quickly, $250, no questions asked.
Yeah.
What's the pre-sale you said?
$250 US.
Okay.
I've had no one.
okay.
I've had no one hit me up about it. I've seen plenty of Obi showcases pulled, but no
they're
one's hit me up
asking
about
for
it.
400.
But they're asking for 350, 400, and I'm not going to pay that.
The thing, and I think that there's the balance between you will find your diamond in the rough who will pay that amount, but I think the vast majority of people
They'll hold.
are not going to pay that amount.
And so it depends what you want to do with your cards. If you're looking to move them and you want to make money and you don't want them to sit, because you also have, yes, cards are depreciating.
Yeah,
To some extent. If you want to sell them and make some money, sell them early, yes, but sell them at a reasonable price. You'll move them. But
100%.
asking for $500 for a color showcase or $200, and we're talking Australian, $200 for a Kid Fisto. I'm sorry, Kid Fisto is unplayable. It's not the best.
It's
looking showcase.
150, 100 max.
it was
It's gonna be-
it was 190 US.
It's
No.
gonna be 100.
It's not.
It's gonna be
It's going to be.
It's gonna be like Rose. It's gonna be $80 in
yeah,
a month.
100, it's going to be sub 100.
And that is the thing. Like you're right. Like I know people want to try and get their value and try and get their money back. Like at the end of the day, this is not the game for you if you're trying to get
Not
your
yet.
money back on spending. I'm never even going to outside of the company of these two gentlemen tell how much I've spent on this card game. And you know what?
And that's
The worst
mostly because Shantae is listening to the episode.
Nah, she knows. She encourages me more than anything. The problem is, it's not even It's not even anything in comparison to how much I've spent on minis.
Yeah.
But the issue is like people will spend the money, but the value's not there, and you might get those people. You might get that diamond in the rough person. If you're trying to recoup money that you spent, like we bought between us, we've bought 2 regular cases of.
One case.
We bought a case.
Oh, you bought it.
I'm counting what I
He's
bought. I'm saying
He's putting
Let me say
us into his shame.
I bought one box.
when I say
competent.
between us, I mean the 3 of us of what we have spent. If you add it into a pool, 2 cases.
Which Tebow and I will benefit from by trickle down effects.
trickle down Star Wars economics. But no, like we bought a lot of product.
Yeah.
We're not trying to recoup the money.
No.
You can't go in. I feel like you cannot go into this game with that mentality.
No. And if
you're
you're
paying this hobby to play it.
It's like a
enjoy
movie.
it.
You go to the movies for the entertainment.
Yeah.
You gotta come in. You pay because you're gonna use this card. The moment, like we just filmed, us opening a case in some carbonite. Like we had an hour and a half, like of fun. It was really fun. We didn't get the pulls that we wanted. We still had some.
We
good
got a
ones.
lot of good legends.
Good legends. We
yeah,
had
got a
a
lot of good
bloody
legends.
good time.
6 boxes, and we got 38 legends.
Yeah.
Like that is
That's not-
an
And
amazing. haul.
75% of them are all playable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We had a
Play
great
set of
time.
Qui-Gons, play set of like good.
So
time.
yeah, don't be in this like to make money. I see some people like posting on the Facebook groups and stuff. Oh, crack the carbonite, but I'm not much into bling, so I'm looking to move these.
Why are you
If
cracking-
you're not
why are you
into
cracking-
bling,
why are you cracking
do
carbonite?
not open carbonite. Don't just leave it for the other players. You're not going to make your money out of that.
I think
so-
the mentality is that most people are cracking this one for they're chasing the
serialized or showcase.
what's the hit you get? Oxytocin?
Dopamine.
Dopamine hit. Oxytocin's a yellow.
That's the love.
The dopamine hit. And then there's like the
They're trying to make money.
is there regret afterwards?
Yeah,
and then
potentially.
it's like, okay, now I've got to try and recoup the money that I've spent.
Yeah.
But you'll be lucky if you break even. If you have a hot box, you might get 10% over, 15% over.
And the thing with that is like,
But-
you say a hot box, and we know someone that opened a case of carbonite, and they got 3 showcases and a serialized. In terms of dollar value, they're not making back what they spent on.
No, because
Because they're not going to sell those things at
Because
these
they're shit.
exorbitant prices, and they're not the most playable showcases.
No.
So like, but they're in it because they're also a collector. Same as us. We want to collect. Like, I want to get my play set and have it how I 2 regulars and a foil. I want to get that. I want to get it quick. So
You
I
want
can
to get
do
all
my
your
decks.
Imperial showcases.
I want to get on my
all that good
Imperial
stuff.
showcases. Like, but I'm never, and the amount of money that I've spent on carbonite boxes in the last 2 sets, I will never get that
Never
money
shame.
back. But I don't ever feel bad about how much I've spent.
No,
Because I've done it because I like cracking packs. I like the dopamine hit. And thank God I don't have that gambler mentality of trying to get back my money, because I would be fucked.
But and
It's
this
fun.
and I think we should make it clear that this is not us trying to get cheap shit.
God,
We're not bringing this up so you guys can go.
we will pay you money.
we'll pay you a fair price.
We'll pay you. But
We will.
The amount
we-
of showcases I bought, like,
You have no shame.
We just think but we're just not going to buy at the prices that people are wanting for them, and that's the point. And I'm sure there's a lot of other people that feel like
Yeah.
they share our sentiment
Yeah,
about
yeah,
it,
and
and
we-
the market being just ridiculously hot. I get that it's release week. I get that it's week 1, but if you want to move shit quickly, offer it at a reasonable price.
Yes.
Yeah, and you're right. We're not trying to we feel like this is a conversation that should be had. So listen to this, this conversation. Put comments in.
Yeah, tell us what you think.
Tell us what you think. Talk to us in our Discord. We want to know, because it's a conversation worth having. Because, like, you're right. There are. I'm trying to get all those Imperial showcases, and I'm pretty fucking close.
Yes.
So, but you come to me with a Morgan Elsbeth, and if you think I'm going to pay $300 for Morgan Elsbeth ever, you're insane. But like right now, it's $100 showcase.
I was gonna say $100.
But if I
I'd be
want
like-
if I want it right now, I would give you 150,
No, I was
175.
going to say we cracked
That's
this.
why you're
We
showing
cracked
this.
this Townsend showcase.
Yeah,
How much do you think that's worth? Like,
Good card. Nice.
it's probably very playable.
great looking card. And
150.
But yeah, is it worth more than 150?
I don't think so.
Is it worth more than a Gar Saxon showcase?
I would
Because that's
say
what a Gar
150
Saxon
now.
showcase is
150
going
now. End of set maybe 120.
for. Yeah.
Oh, I need a Gar Saxon showcase.
120.
I reckon 150. If someone said, I've got this for 150, I would buy it on the spot. 200, hell no.
End of set 120. But right now 150. I agree.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. 150. I think right now.
But
and
if we look, what's a Towson showcase
I'm
going for on
checking.
TCG?
184,
So
186
it's almost
US.
close to $300.
186.
186
yeah,
US.
it'll be close. Well, I've got it.
I would honestly sell it to not you, a stranger, for that amount of money.
282.
Of course I would.
280. There's no way. No way I'm
It's
paying
not worth
280.
$280.
It's not.
That's the
And
thing.
she's relatively playable.
She's quite playable.
Relatively, she'll see some played worlds. She's okay. You're not moving in for
Blake's gonna
280
be,
Australian.
Blake's going to be livid that I cracked that.
Oh, is he hot on Town?
He was playing a bunch of towers. Although he's on Anakin, which I also
Yeah,
have,
he is on
like,
Anakin,
just
yeah.
quietly. But yeah, it's not.
All right.
it's not worth that.
So what do we think? Like selling it just TCG unconverted? So
I like
it's,
TCG unconverted.
if something's 250 on TCG player, it's 250 Australian?
I would do that.
Or do we meet in the middle somewhere where it's 75% converted?
So last
Which would add maybe $20 or $30 to what the...
maybe, I think at that point it's seller's choice
Sure.
or buyer's choice really, because you've got to have both. But like I remember last set when I cracked all those carbonites and I had all those hyperfoils, hyperspaces, and foils, and Scotty needed a bunch of them.
Yeah.
And I used Collector.
Yeah.
We were-
Collector is the same database as TCG and all that.
Yeah.
But way easier to use. Way easier.
Oh, you just
Oh.
add it. You just
Look,
add it, and it's amazing.
I'm going to put my money where my mouth is as well. Anything that I need to sell, I'm just going to do it at TCG unconverted.
Yeah.
Like,
Because people would buy it.
of course.
But the thing that I did with Scott, I forgot to, because it does convert. A collector is in
Yeah.
Australian, I forgot to convert it.
Yeah.
But I still sold him a bunch of cards for, I think he paid me like $350.
Yeah.
Like, that was a lot. And that was, imagine if I'd remembered to convert it, because he was paying me at the time.
Yeah.
He's like, TCG price is converted. That's all he was happy to do. But like, I still walked away with
Yeah.
$300 and a bunch less cardboard to
And-
take home.
And a new carbonite box.
No, it's,
No, I bought the PS showcase with that money.
and at times, remember when you and I looked at those Luke Skywalker cards? The pilot, the 3-2. I needed 2 of them, and I said, "Oh, can you give me 2 of them?" He gives me 2 and said, "Oh, let me see how much." I said, "Let me see how much I owe you." And we look at him, and how much were they? Like $20 each.
$25.
$25 each. I'll try. And I said to him, "Look, there's no way I'm giving you $50 for these." And he said, "You know what? Take them, because I would feel bad selling them at this price." I think since then we've come a long way where we don't even pay each other for cards. To be honest, we just
we just give each other cards.
And I think people
Because it all washes out.
people
all
need to
the family.
remember it's a trading card game.
Yes.
Try to trade. Like the essence of it should be: I have this card, I want this card, you want this card that I have. There you go. Let's make a deal. I think now people are trying to sell. Yeah, people are not trying to sell. They're trying to make money. Oh well, if I sell this, then I can buy my cards. Just trade, guys. It's go to your LGS, trade cards before you try to sell and try to buy. It's the essence of the game.
That was me trying to tell Tebow to wrap it up because
we
got to get to a pre-release
We got to get to a
in
pre-release.
35 minutes.
But no, I think it's a good conversation. This, just to end it off, this is what we want to talk. We want to talk about this. What we say is not the fucking way of the world.
Not gospel.
Like, we're not preaching anything like that. We're just trying to start the conversation and provide our thoughts. We want to hear your thoughts. We want to see how you guys do it. Do you guys do it differently? And does this make you think like, oh, you know what? Maybe you're right. Maybe I shouldn't be doing what I'm doing. And do we then get some more realistic listings on the marketplace that we can buy these things?
And the conversation is a little bit more nuanced as well because we've got to separate stores who have to add margins in Australia.
Absolutely.
Of course. And personal to personal.
And private sales.
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
this conversation is not directed at stores or anything like that.
Somewhat a little bit.
Because
Some of them are.
they can't offer outrageous prices or anything like that because no one will buy from them.
Because they also need to sell things.
Exactly.
Some of them are offering prices that are questionable right now.
Yeah.
We won't name it, but some of them, and that's because of TCG.
It is because
it
of
is
TCG.
because what happens is they automatically plug in the data from TCG.
Yeah.
They don't touch it. They can go in and correct
And
it.
it looks silly right now.
They can go in and correct it, but then it overwrites it and auto updates it again. So if you are seeing outrageous prices on,
Take it over a grain of salt. Give them a week to sort it out.
correct.
Yeah. Call them.
Yeah.
Hey, I really want this card, but I'm not going to pay this price. Like, at the end of the day, like, even stores, like, it's still a sale.
Yeah.
Like, obviously, they will have a margin that they cannot go under because it's value for them.
Yeah.
Yes.
But like, it's not like a private sale.
Yeah.
Like if I'm not going to squibble over
Yeah.
$20, but
No.
some stores might have to. They got to pay rent.
Yeah.
yeah.
But yeah, that's it for us for today. We had a good time.
Nice short one today.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it was
good.
fine. It was good. We obviously a little bit passionate because that's what we like ourselves. We're passionate about this. But yeah, please interact with us in the comments, or if you see us as a local, have a conversation. We'll be happy to discuss this. If you have solutions that we didn't talk about today, please come forward with them. We're off to a pre-release. Wish us lots of luck, and may the force be with us, because is Carl coming today?
No.
Okay,
No,
so more
thank
showcases for
God.
us.
More showcases for us.
Guys, remember, as always, good soldiers, full orders.
Deuces.
Bye.
It's on the touchscreen.